Good evening. Today we are going to be talking about dividing whole numbers by decimals. Now I know that sounds a little daunting, but after this, hopefully you will see that it's not that difficult. Alright, let's get started by looking at a simple problem. We have 12 divided by 0.25. So the first thing I like to do is I like to set it up in the long division form. So we put the 12 in there and the 0.25 on the outside. Now, the trick to dividing by a decimal is we need to make the decimal a whole number. So 0.25, we know that 0.25 4 times equals 1. So we do 0.25 times 4 equals 1. 1 is the nearest whole number. So just timesing it by 4 is sufficient. Now, we can't just do something to one side of the problem. We have to do it to both sides of the equation. So we have to times 12 by 4 as well. So we do 12 times 4 equals 48. So we are left with 1 divided by 48, which is just 48. So that's a pretty easy problem, so let's move on to something a little bit more challenging. Let's take a look at 6 divided by 0.03. So again, I like to start by setting it up long division style. Now, this one's a little trickier. The easiest way for me is to times it by a multiple of 10. So if we just times it by 10, that would give us 0.3 instead of 0.03, which is still not a whole number. But if we times it by 100, move the decimal point over 2 spaces, and that gives us 3. So take 0.03, times it by 100, and that gives us 3. Now remember, we have to do the same thing to the other side. So we do 6 times 100 equals 600. Now our problem is 3 divided by 600. You can do it just like a normal division problem now. 3 goes into 6 twice. That gives us 2 times 3 is 6. 0. So we just need to move these remaining 2 zeros to the top, which gives us our answer of 200. I think we're starting to get the hang of it, but let's do one more just for good measure. Let's take a look at 0.8, or 12 divided by 0.8, I'm sorry. So, we know the drill by now. First thing we need to do is make this a whole number. So my easiest way of doing it is timesing it by a multiple of 10. So 8 times 10, sorry, 0.8 times 10 equals 8. Do the same thing to the other side. 12 times 10 equals 120. Now, we set up our new equation with our new numbers. So we have 120 divided by 8. 8 can go into 1 0 times, but 8 can go into 12 1 time. So we put the 1 above the 12. 1 times 8 is 8. 12 minus 8 is 4. 8 can't go into 4 on its own, so we have to bring down this 0 that we have left over. 8 can go into 40 5 times. 5 times 8 equals 40. Which equals 0, so we have gone as far as we can. So our total for 0.8 divided by 12 is 15. I hope this has helped you better understand how to divide whole numbers by decimals. Thank you for joining me and have a great evening.